Ah, I've been waiting for you. Yeah, I should have done the chair spinner and that would have been even funnier, but there's the teddy for Keep the Sheep, inspired by my dad today. He sent me a message a second ago with some teddy bears on the bed, but I thought I'd spruce up the show for a bit on today's subject about taking action. So we'll just, I don't know if we can get that microphone in there, or if the sound's any better. Probably not, but we'll just wing it because we're just authentic people. So this is what it's like to sit in the weirdo office, in the success office, with all the glory behind me and the visions of greater things. It's all good to have these visions, but you can sit there and talk about it all you like, but if you don't do anything about it, like, you're not going to go anywhere. So today's subject, surprisingly none, is that today's subject is about taking action. And what do those actions mean on varying different subjects? So, Muzz and I'll dive into that when he gets here, about what it is to take action. There's things you do, there's things you don't do, there's things you have to do on your daily. Taking action of doing the dishes is a small action. But then, as far as business, what action do you take in your business? You got to talk to the bank, you got to talk to the finance companies and all sorts of funny things. As I just do the lean in as I do when we'll see how this goes for today. But so it's about taking action, and I've taken some action recently, and so is Muzz. Here he is.
G'day, how are we?
Fan-bloody-tastic.
That's the shot. You're looking sharp.
I try to. I might even have to trim the old beard for this thing I'm doing later on, which I'll explain to people. So, because I did a thing, and there's a post in the group about doing a thing. That's what this thing was. To learn from people. So if you want to be rich and famous, you got to go do things that rich and famous people do. So you got to go in front of them and listen to them. So listening to, who better to learn off to run a multi-million-dollar business off an idea than Janine Ellis, who started Boost Juice. All right, so there's enough there. So if you couldn't learn something from her, and she's been on TV, Shark Tank, Survivor, all that sort of stuff. So she's got some stories. So learning from her and the other people that were there at that conference, it's like, right, so to promote this other thing, I've got to do this thing. And maybe if I go and network with these people, that I can show them the thing that I've got, which also helps the other thing, if that sort of makes sense.
Yes. One thing leads to another, as you say. It becomes a bit of a cycle. So if you're learning something from them, you can then hopefully impart wisdom as well. If that's how I understand it,
Yeah.
right?
Pretty much. And the bonus of doing, so when I went to this conference the other day, so you're in a room full of 2,000 people, something like that. Would have been about that, I reckon, rough guess. At the Perth Convention Centre, nice air-conditioned room, dressed up in my good duds. Bought a VIP ticket. I thought, if I'm going to go learn, I want to go talk to these people. So to go have a 30-second conversation with them, or go in a room where you get a chance to ask a question or an interview with them type thing, you don't get that sort of opportunity that often. So you might as well spend a bit of money. There was people there that got free tickets. There's some of us there that paid to be there, and that's why we got to sit in the front row. And we got to go in first and things like that. And then afterwards we got the meet and greet, which the freebies didn't. So there's, you do pay for what you get. And so the interesting thing about that is part of the thing, and you get up and they do personal development type things. So they get up and they say, go talk to someone you've never spoken to before, which was easy for me because I knew no one there. So everyone I spoke to was someone I'd never met before that day. But meeting people on that day, and you go, so I sat next to a guy, hi, how you going? Here's my Instagram. You follow me, I'll follow you, that sort of thing. And I go, so what's your name? What do you do? So, oh, mate, Deepak's got a healing thing in Perth. So he's Perth based, and he does like, not not sound, but yoga and that sort of energy healing type stuff, Reiki type
Yes.
stuff. And he's got that business in Perth. And I thought, that's very aligned with something I do as far as what we do with Enagic and mindset and personal development and stuff like that. So I wonder if I could, for lack of a better term, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. If you get what I mean?
100%.
So
100%.
that's just one person. And there was on that day, over the period of all of half an hour that we got to do this networking type scenario, I added 7 people to my contact list for different business purposes.
That's
7
cool.
people I've never met before. It's exactly like getting a lead on Facebook. You put an ad out or something, and then away you go. Or your reel goes viral, and 10,000 people get to see it, and someone sends you a message, goes, "Hey, how you going? Now I'm going to follow you." Same process, same sort of attraction thing. So now we've got this conversation, and these people want to talk about this. These people want to talk about that. So the experience I've got as a social entrepreneur and learning the algorithms and stuff like that, I get to share with these people because they're new. I'm trying to promote a business. I said, well, I know how to promote a business. I've got truck stickers. I've got different shirts. I've got Facebook pages. Got ads in the local rag. All sorts of things. Well, we can do a million different ways, but how to get noticed, understand the algorithm. I know the theory, the actions are slightly different, but the action I took was getting to meet these people to be in my new network.
Which is huge, and that's what you said from all along, like you said at the start of today. If you want to get ahead, you got to be in the right people. It's the same with anything, you got to surround yourself with the right people. So, I reckon that's neat that already within that half hour you've introduced. Got 7 new contacts, 7 new potential friends in that circle to improve you.
Yeah, and probably the big thing. So that's a small action. Well, that was a big action for me. Is you buy this thing, you do a webinar. So before I did all this, saw this guy scrolling Instagram. So I had a listen. So all right, what's he got to share? Cool. I want to listen more. So then, all right, so you go buy a ticket to his conference. It's in Perth. I said, it's in Perth. It's not that hard to go to. Book the ticket, couple hours up the road, go hang out with mum and dad for a bit, go to his conference today, come back, drive back home. Young fella gets to spend some time with grandma and granddad. They love that. And probably the bonus is, and this is a bit of a flex, right? So I'm able to do these things because my young fella's school goes where he goes.
Yeah.
As long as we've got the internet connection, he can be at school, whether it be at my house, grandma's house, or the caravan park, doesn't matter. So if we want to go fishing for the weekend, and we nearly did this weekend, but the wind was blowing the wrong way and the fish weren't running, and you research all this stuff on the internet, right? So I get to do these sorts of things, so why not utilize that advantage? And I talked to Jack about freedom. So gone to Perth, done that thing, and then I've gone. One of their things is massive and immediate action is like their slogan. Like what are you going to do? Like, for people that watch these videos, what would be a massive and immediate action is as soon as we get off this live, they get on the messengers thing and go, right, show me a webinar. We want to see 1 hour or a 40-minute webinar. I'm going to spend that time to learn something from you guys because you guys have been yabbering on about it for years now. Thousands.
For crying out loud, what are you blokes on about?
Thousands of distributors can't be wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
So everyone send Muzz a message. He's got heaps of time. I've spent 2 hours in front of the laptop this morning doing a bit of catch up on some financial bookwork because a bit late on doing the old farm budgets and stuff like that. So it's just numbers in the right boxes and get all that, get your finance approved, move on, do the farm for the year. Easy. So
Nice.
That's been one of the fun things I've been doing. And then, well, surprise, surprise, I'll tell you now, Muzz. So this is the big surprise to people for what I talk about massive action. I have booked a 4-day seminar in Melbourne at the end of this month. So I've already booked the hotel, and I'm going to finalise booking the plane tickets today. So I've committed to learn something off these guys, to go sit with some high net worth individuals, not just a couple of blokes down the pub have a conversation about water. I'm going to talk to these people with different types of business. Could be Joe Bloke with a farm, mum and pa with a coffee shop, or someone who's got $20 million worth of industrial real estate or something. I don't know who I'm going to be talking to, but the idea is for me to go sit in a room with them, learn some more stuff, business structures, sales techniques. I could learn something completely new. I don't know, but if I don't go, I'll never know. But the action is now we've got a commitment. We're all in. We've booked the ticket, we've booked the hotel, then we'll get the plane sorted, and it's locked in. That's action. Similarly to the first time, I don't know, I can't remember how you did it, but when I was scrolling Facebook before we started all this fun business and this page, it was an ad on Facebook. Someone goes, do you want to make money online? And 5 years ago, that was a sort of bit of an airy-fairy thing. Nowadays, everyone does it. Yeah. Now everyone's feed is probably going to be filled up with, do you want to make money online? You can make money online this way. You can use this AI. You can use that AI. You can play this game and make $300 a day. You can play this game and make $30 in 15 minutes. All the bullshit gets in front of you.
Oh, absolutely. Makes me cross some of that stuff, but, there is some of the legitimate stuff too, like, you're involved in and some of the others where, there's different options there where you can actually do something serious with it. But then there's, unfortunately with that, as we know, these scams come out as well, which is what makes it really hard to decipher it sometimes, unless you're in the know.
Yeah, and so, and with all that, and that, what do people say when we first, and people still sometimes say it in the conversations, oh, what you're doing is a scam. I've gone, is it? Really? Oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Well, I haven't heard that one for a long time. I'll put it out there in the universe. It's a pyramid scheme. And I go, oh, really? So what I'm doing is a pyramid scheme. Who do you work for again? So you work at Coles, and you're a cashier, and then you've got a manager who gets paid more than you, and then they've got a manager that gets paid more than them, and then they've got a manager that gets paid more than them, and then there's a guy at the top who's the CEO, gets paid the most for doing the least, and I guarantee that the cashier can never make more money than the CEO. So that's a pyramid. Simple like that. Easy.
That's a very good thought. I never considered it like that before, but that's really interesting.
And that's the difference about this business, that if someone comes into this business and has a network of people and takes massive and immediate action, they can blow us out the water, leave us completely behind as far as commissions and sales and all that sort of stuff. It's completely up to the individual. And I've seen it, particularly in the men's chat. There's some great blokes in there in the TFE men's chat. I've seen guys start after me and obviously have something different. It's the same product, though. It's the exact same product on the kitchen bench. But they do it their way, and they've kicked butt. Like they've blown me out the water. 4As, 6As, 6A2s, and just like attracting teammates. And you see some of their video clips, and there's nothing more inspiring to me than see these guys new in this business, but they got the blokes around the house for the barbecue, and they might go for a run on the beach, and they're lifting this big rock, just being men, you know, just going, oh, we're men, yeah, drink your bloody water and do your push-ups and all that sort of shit. I'm going, yeah, I could hang around those guys. That's my type of crew.
Yeah.
And it's not the local footy club when they're not that tough. I'll call them out. I'll call them out. There you go, footy club. Drink your water, do your push-ups, and we'll find a big rock we can chuck around in the car park. We don't put it on the oval because you'll dent a sprinkler or something. But, you know, proper ranty today.
Stuart, tell us how you really feel.
Buckle up for this, sunshine. Here we go. No.
Yeah. But that's the thing, and good on you though, because I mean, you know, there's a lot to gain from it. But as you're getting down, like outside the footy club, outside the gents and the TFE chat group, you're finding extra worth outside those areas.
Yeah, and the you know, some people say it's weird and wonderful, but if you don't stretch your network, so you the old personals that you are the sum of the some total of the 5 people you hang around the most, right?
Yes.
So if your net value and your influence has X amount of dollars, right? So you got 5 farm workers sitting down the pub, they all get paid 50 grand each, right? So the total intellect between a lot of them is about 250 grand worth of net value, and they all drive tractors and it's auto steered and it's really not that complicated. But why am I going to go sit in that group and ask about share trading or buying another farm? What would they know? They don't. Similarly to, you go down the other end of the bar and you might be able to find 5 farmers sitting there together and they've got 10,000 hectares each, and their net worth will be, I don't know, 40 million between the lot of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Something like just picking a number out the air. Could be more than that. Farms get expensive these days. So, you know, but then the idea is the conversation's different between the two groups. So you might go in that group and you'll talk about, not, you know, have you ordered your fertiliser yet? What did you order? What was it worth? Like, have you got your truck sorted yet? You know, have you got your chemical sorted? Is your tractor in the workshop? You know, where are you guys at your maintenance schedule? So we talk about the bigger type plans, because you don't go and talk to the workers about is the fertiliser or they wouldn't know. This is what the farmer knows.
Yeah.
So then that increases a network of a farm, right? So that's great. I don't want to just run a farm. I got an online business. So what do? You got to talk to people in an online business who do videos and algorithms and stuff on how to do more, how to do better. Integration of AI tools or whatever we've got. Yeah. Get this old clip and we'll whack her on YouTube and chuck it in Opus clips, chop, got reels for the week. Done. Simples.
Yeah.
And it's like, so then how much value can we provide in this little conversation we're having in the stratosphere of, you know, particularly on YouTube? YouTube's starting to love us, Muzz. Did you know that?
No, I haven't checked it out for a while. You said that it's been doing well, so that's amazing. So thanks everyone.
When we love
that.
When we drop these videos on YouTube, the little needle goes up. People are watching the Sunday session more than the Wednesday wisdom, so they're probably here for you, not me.
I don't know about that, but anyway.
Yeah, that's probably
they're there for the beard, mate. I'm sure it is. They're there for the beard and the Viking hat and the vest today. And the
vest today. It's a fancy ass vest that unless you get the shirt and single underneath, you don't quite fill it out properly. I look a bit skinny. Should have done some push-ups before I started, get the pump on. But
yeah. Green screen.
But that's the thing, you know, like what actions have other people taken? Like it's sort of how would you define yourself as successful? Like what have you done lately? Not you, Muzz, but I know. See, someone who's come
Yeah,
up on
yeah.
the watching list. I know what this bloke's done recently. He's expanded his family. He's had a baby. There's been a few babies around locally.
Congratulations.
So good on the family expansion. We need to keep the school going.
Yep.
But, you know, it's like, so you've done that. And then obviously you've got to have the car seat. You've got to have the cot at home. You might have bought a better car. So you've committed to taking action, to looking after this child. And then you've got to adjust your life, your whole sleep scenario and things like that. That's an action taken and positive progression. But then if you haven't had a kid, and I'm past that at the moment, I'll say at the moment, never say never. Right? I go see the vet, get reconnected, find a lovely lady, bring out all the rabbits. Here we go. Have fancy little rabbits running everywhere. That's not an impossibility, right? But
no.
So for me to do something in my life is I've talked to the farmers, talked to the bigger farmers. It's like, all right, so that network's got me so far, and your mindset and your management, and you adjust to that mindset. But because of the way that the farm and the business has changed, I've got a little bit more time. So then I've spoken to guys who run contracting businesses. So we're looking at, you know, swathing or work to do with the truck. How can I increase cash flow on the farm?
Yes.
So there's a limit to that. But then how can I increase cash flow off farm if I did something off farm? How many farmers have got a rental property? How many farmers have got, I know farmers that own commercial centres as off farm assets. I'm not saying they own Westfield Carousel, but they might own a shopping complex somewhere, and that generates an off-farm income because there's rent, right?
Yeah.
So then having the conversation with those people, well, how do you get into that? And then here's the things like, how can I get into that without any money? Because wouldn't be an unusual farmer down here right now. You could be, you sold a heap of wheat, you might be holding some, paid a heap of bills, caught up, and then you go, oh shit, here we are, we've all the money's done the loop-de-loop, you've had a good crop, you've taken it off, put it in the bin, you're paying your bills, and you go, but there's still not a lot in the bank account. There's still a heap in the silos, and this, you know, it's like, shit, now we've got an issue here. How do I fix that issue?
Yeah.
I could sell a heap of K8s. That'd fix it short term. We could find one more weirdo like us. I reckon there's thousands of us, Muzz, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just got to get the black bastards on here.
Yeah. What if the way was you and I both found two blokes each to go, we're just as weird and we're going to get on Facebook and talk shit on the Sunday session, and we're going to have bought these machines and invested in ourselves and read a book or three. Where's me? Oh, no, there's a book here somewhere. There it is. There's the current book I'm reading. There's a book tip. And there's the other tip. Got a $50 note in it as an investment into my development. There you go. That's some bullshit for you. There you go. It's a life tip. Okay? If you were to put
Coming up with all the advice.
Well, you get a bit of pay, you get a business card, right? Stick it in the book. Does that inspire you to go back to that book anymore? But if I had a $100 note, I'd have a $100 note in there, but I don't have one at the moment. But
get another
$50
note.
Subtle way. Sorry to cut you off, Muzz. That's my subtle way to go. That's my investment in that book, and I'm going to get my $50 worth.
Every time you open up, you see that $50 note there, and like, you know, $50. It's imprinted.
Yeah.
Rather than bloody, you know.
You know, what would you do to get $50? Could I say, right, if I'm going to use the $50 at the front of the book, when I get to the back of the book, the $50 goes back in my wallet. What would I learn on the way through? But so that's maybe that's a process for some people. If you want to learn something, get yourself a development book, and that's the book that the guy gave me from the VIP ticket for the thing. So I read about Elon and Oprah and Sir Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg. There's a few people they've done studies on. It's about thought processes. You know, if you want to, if you want to own a multi-million-dollar business, you need to think like a multi-million-dollar business owner. If you want to own a billion-dollar business, there is a mindset shift that needs to happen, because you are now dealing with 1,000 more millions than the millionaire. So, yeah, is there 1,000 more problems? Yeah,
it probably is, but you know how to know how to deal with them by then.
Well,
because
but some people,
so,
you know, there's the get rich quick thing, and this is the trap of the online spaces. Is all these people see these get rich. Yeah, I made $10 million off this crypto pump. That's a common bullshit one. We won't talk about that girl that did the stupid sound that everyone went viral with, and she pumped and dumped everyone on a coin. But so that's you get some gurus go, oh, we can teach you how to do that. Wait for this coin or this signal. It's like, no, they can't. They got bloody lucky. But now they're worth $10 million. Yeah. They were worth $1,000 before that. They have not made the mindset shift. How do they deal with that $10 million if they've only ever had $1,000 before that, got lucky on a weekend, and then suddenly there's these multi-millionaires that have no idea how to run a business? Yeah, it's like hitting red or black at the casino. Actually, that's like farming. Stick it all in the ground and hope the fucking rains. You know.
Absolutely.
let's just put 2 million on red, will we? It's not that brutal, though.
And that's 100%. And it's just clicked a bit, Stuart, what you said then about the mindset shift. You know, you don't instinctively, yes, there are people who inherit manager positions or boss positions across the world. But I think the most of the ones that you and I have worked for in the past are people who have worked their way up the ladder. There are people who have, for what we're saying here, they've done a shift, but basically they've put in the work and upped their leadership skills, upped their problem solving skills, to then be lifted up from shit kicker to head shit kicker to manager or supervisor to da. So it's a similar thing to what you're saying here. But you know, your thing is outside of what you've grown up with and lived and breathed most of your life, apart from when you did your apprenticeship and worked at a Perth there. But that's why, again, coming back to a little bit first, full circle, to reaching out and getting that help to level up, to get that 10 million billionaire mentality, mind shift.
And it is an interesting way.
Just a personal epiphany.
You're right. It's a process, Muzz. That's the thing. So
absolutely,
Richard Branson didn't know how to run a successful airline company before he started one, but he knew some things on how to get the right team around him so that it was successful, and that's his business model, and that's his ace up his sleeve, for lack of a better description. You know, if you talk to, you know, and I had the privilege of working for some guys in Perth. We'll go back to that story. So he created this business from just being a plumber, right? So then it's about being the right place to get your right work or your right contract, or do you do something else? Because plumbers don't just fix toilets and install bathroom sinks, right? There's a lot more to that. And then if you go sideways and do outside work, so this plumber started this business and started to do reinstatement work. Oh, I've dug up your driveway. Can I put it back for you? I've got a company that's got a concrete truck and we've got finishes and we can get it back exactly the way it was. Or maybe I'll work out a way to go under your driveway and stuff like that. Well, now that I'm doing that, what if the Telstra guy needs a hand? What if I get his pipe underground for him? So therefore, this plumber got a few mates together, and they created this business, which when I was there had probably 25, 30 of us on shovels, and
Yes.
10 people in the office. That didn't happen overnight, but that was hard work, finding the right team to get the business done, and then also finding the work. Like that guy, Telstra come to him. That he doesn't have to put in tenders or nothing. So if they want something done, those Telstra and Western Power can call him direct. That's the reputation he's built up in the business. So they go, right, we need something done. Here's our guy. He gets it done. So then now he's got a system, and he's got staff to back him up, because you've got to have, bigger businesses have got purchase ordering officers, you've got storemen, you've got accounts, you've got, for what they're doing, you need to do lots of maps. So the dial maps,
Yes.
and you get your dials, you've got to put your red lines down to update the dials. It'll make sense to some people. If you know, you know. If you don't, you don't. That's fine. I can read my dials till the cows come home now, after learning that skill in Perth. But it's, you listen to those guys over a beer. It's like, how did you do it? It's like, well, one day I'm pumping shit tanks, the next day I'm putting in a pathway. But maybe, and then I just word of mouth, and you just work and you build up this great big business. For him to sit in his ivory office, that wasn't an ivory office, but he sat in his office and he made phone calls now from, that didn't happen overnight. So you definitely have a beer with that bloke and try and pick his brain. And I learnt a lot off that bloke. And so that's relative to how far can I go. Like, I can't, I could pivot my little small farm now, and I could go be this hugest contractor with water trucks and swathers and all that sort of stuff, and go make $1 million. But you need team, and you need equipment, and I don't have it all right now, but it's relative. But you know what I mean? So it could happen that way. But what is the limitation of that way? Because the spraying contractor or the swathing contractor does not drive the Bugatti.
No.
So so what do I got to do? And this is bigger business. What is your expendable cash flow? What is your allowance on frivolous things? Because I don't know how the hell. Maybe that's a question I'd ask. Is how do you claim the Bugatti as a business expense if you're an agricultural contractor? Yeah, you could do it with a Land Cruiser. That's easier. But a Bugatti's not the same thing.
It's not, or at least it's not seen as so. I mean, there's got to be a way around it, Stuart.
I would not be taking the Bugatti out chasing sheep. I'll give you the tip.
But you and Jack could take the Bugatti to rush to Perth to buddy for one of the seminars.
That's right. Because one day, do enough of these talks on Facebook, and maybe I'm feeling comfortable enough or ballsy enough, because I've also put it out there to these people. I've said, you know what, for the right price, you give me the microphone and I'll teach these people something. Yeah. Maybe go do some consultancy, and then, listen to a few blokes like, listen to a podcast from the real Brad Lee, and he says it. He's like, when I was doing public speaking and I started out at 10 grand and everyone's booking me and stuff like that. And then I wanted to do less, so I put my price up. So he went to 20 grand, and then he still got heaps of work. So then he went to 50 grand to speak for half an hour or so as a keynote speaker. So how do you pick your money? How do you work out your value? And the guy said, how'd you work out you're worth 50 grand? Brad said, I didn't. I just put a number on it. If they want me to talk and I'll teach them something, then I'll put a number on it. They'll either pay it or they won't. It's the value that the customer perceives in your value. So then I've said to these guys, maybe my entry point. So you give me 20 grand, I'll stand up there half an hour. I'll talk about life's journey, personal development, and how to make yourself better. Then I'll give you a quick business analysis on something, and you'll go away. You'll have learnt something in that half an hour. You give me 20 grand for that, Muzz. Write the check out now. Done. But
Absolutely.
But those jobs are never going to happen. So if I didn't say that in front of people that are keynote speakers, people that are doing it, then why would I get the offer? I could sit here on my farm, talk shit all day, and talk to very few people. I could sit here and talk to the tractor window for all that matters. Don't tell me farmers don't do that. There's plenty of us that talk to the tractor window at certain times of the day.
Absolutely.
But the value that I think I have, hence the nice vest, a few more to add to the collection later, but the value that I think I have after all the learning that I've done in this online business has not only value between online business, but understanding social media branding and a personal brand. Can I teach someone else this business? Not just this business, but can I apply that to their business? Yes, I can. So then there's a value in that consultancy. But if they go to my website or your website and they follow the link, they can get themselves a beautiful KA and be hydrated and be able to concentrate on all these things for 18 hours a day like I do. So there's a business tip for anyone. If you've got knowledge on a subject, why can't you go and teach someone on that subject? And is there a value? You don't need to go to school to teach. Could you say to the boys, like a footy coach is a great example. It's a paid position, but their job is to teach us, update our skills, whatever we're doing, making sure we're fit enough to play the game to the best of our ability on the weekends. That's their job.
Yes.
But what if someone said, all right, you've got your coffee shop. That's just a little investigation I've done. I'll run by a coffee shop. So Ma and Pa coffee shop in the middle of Subiaco has a couple of thousand people come through every day, buy coffee. What could they do different? How do they go from 2,000 to 10,000? Or do they want to charge more for their coffee? Is there, where do they get their coffee from? Is it a specific brand? How many different milks do you have? In my world, there's 3 types of milk: full cow, half cow, and no cow. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Because if almonds don't have tits, and neither do soybeans. So it's not milk.
We won't go there.
I have to spark the algorithm somehow, Muzz. How are we going to get this to go viral if we don't trigger some people?
Don't forget, rice doesn't have tits either.
Yeah, but then, so they got coffee and milk and water. And what on the subject, what if you made coffee with different water? Would it taste different? And I've got an answer for you, and the answer is yes. Because I do. When I make them. So there's your basic start of your business. But so Ma and Pa, let's say Ma and Pa coffee shop, and they're 70. They've had the coffee shop for 50 years. They don't know what they're doing. So who do they have to get? Do they have a Facebook or Instagram account that people can tag their coffee shop? Oh no, we don't have that. All right, so let's start a Instagram account, and you get your staff members to once or twice a day, you've got to snap up a selfie making coffees for the people, full of things. And then if you go to the people, hey, you tag us in your post, we'll give you 10% off your coffee or something. Because there's profit within a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee does not cost $6 to make, including buying the paper cup. Trust me, been there, done that. There's a fair bit of profit in that. But so then suddenly Ma and Pa coffee shop who's 70 has the 20-year-old barista people at the front taking selfies and customers taking selfies. So suddenly this coffee shop in Subiaco goes viral, and then people are driving places to go to this coffee shop. So now their business has just doubled.
Mm.
And then what if mum and pa, they go, all right, so we're doing well there, but we want to reward the customers because that's what people like. So you reward the customer, go, if it's your birthday and you come in, we'll give you a free cookie or something, you know?
Mm.
We'll get on automation later. My washing machine just sent me a message that the laundry's done. So that's the job after. But, you know, that's a little tip for coffee shop owners. You could apply that to any business, you know, whether it be your local food grocery store, have a Facebook or Instagram. So social media is the key to part of this. And then how do you value add to your customers? So half off for a coffee for their birthday. So then people, well, they get a free cookie. So they want to go there for the cookie. So you have your gluten cookies and you have your butter cookies, your gluten-free cookies. So everyone's happy, right? You can, you know, that's how you can have your real milk and your pretend milk, and then everyone's happy, right? So that's catering to the masses. So then suddenly, Ma and Pa, who are 70, have got people asking for jobs because they've got 3 staff running this coffee shop when they're doing 2,000 cups of coffee an hour, or I'm just pulling piss numbers out. I don't know what the rate would be, but suddenly, Stewie taught them something. In an hour or two, we set it up, and then we got the routine of going to get the staff to do it, get the work phone or whatever. So they've had to buy a phone. They've made an Instagram account, and then the staff pass this phone around, tag each other, and then it's someone's job to sit in the corner at some point, and everyone who tags them gets a like, and then suddenly you've got a job for a social media person in a coffee shop, and you've got 3 baristas.
Yes.
And then Ma and Pa have probably been out there pouring coffees for 50 years going, we don't actually need to work here anymore. We've got people, like we can just stay at home. Like you get a purchasing person, you have your manager. It's their job to do the social media account. It's their job to make sure the stock orders are done properly, make sure there's enough cups, make sure there's enough milk, make sure the coffee beans are coming in, make sure there's enough cookies because there's thousands of birthdays every day. And you've turned this business from what was, say, 2,000 cups a week to 2,000 cups a day. And Ma and Pa have retired, and 6 more people have got jobs. You know, that's it. So then, what would the value of that lesson that I just gave them and sat in the coffee shop with them go, here we go. Right, you got your phone. Look, here you go. Got another phone. Instagram. Download Instagram. What do you want to call your coffee shop? Right, let's do that. If I sat there and I did it for them, now, all right, here you go, manager. Do this, or here you go, staff members. Can you just take a first couple of selfies and like they do at Boost Juice? The Boost Juice thing, all their posts are high energy and colourful, and everyone's happy. That's part of the recipe of the Boost Juice thing, their community thing. And yeah, this is what I learnt off Mrs. Alice. There's a little secret that I learnt from her that I've just shared to you. But if you apply that to Ma and Pa Coffee Shop, what is the value of Stewie coming in on a consultation for an hour and maybe checking in a week or 2 later, and a month later? What is that value to that coffee shop? If I've just 5x their income, how much am I worth now? Could I say at the start, all right, this is going to be a $10,000 consultation, but I am going to make you 5 times more money. You're going to have 5 times more turnover, which means you might have to take a bit of 4 times more profit because you're going to invest some back into the business. What is that value to you? They go, 10 grand. I don't know. Can you prove it? So you'd have to start with one. But, you know, so then as a public speaker, to wear this awesome suit this vest that I've spent a couple $100 on, and then have the suit, you got to go fly somewhere in the plane ticket or drive to Perth, and the centre's got to be booked. And then if I'm going to be a keynote speaker, there's the room out the back. We're having a chat. I've got to have my notes and my slideshow ready for all these people to learn something off me, and how much value can I give them in 15 or 20 minutes. Similar to the free value they're getting by watching these videos on Facebook and YouTube, and then the little bits of gold we give them in the reels that we make from this. You know, so how much is that worth? We're all millionaires in wisdom, Muzz.
And it's interesting, Stuart, because like you're saying that, and it's not just, you know, like yourself offering this free wisdom on here. There's lots of people, but it's all good and well to take the stuff away and learn from it. But it's this then, you know, sorry guys, you're gonna get hooked into this, because later on you're gonna need personalised consultation at some point, because you're gonna come up against something that, well, but you said this. Yeah, that's right. This works for this situation, but you possibly need this. But this becomes a, you know, any further advice I can give you. But this is to then, as you said, to multiply your business. You need to learn. You need to get past the stage you're at now. You need that help. It's worth X amount to get past that.
Yeah. And, you know, inversely, you might have, so some friends did it a few years ago. They started a coffee van. You know, here we are on coffee. Why are we talking about coffee? Because it's an easy subject to talk about, right?
I'm a big fan of it.
So these friends started this coffee van with a unique aspect. They poured a lot of money into it, and they did the lessons, and they're doing the right thing. And as far as I'm concerned, they did nothing wrong, apart from their lives got busy and they couldn't do that because they were busy doing the other primary stuff in their life. You can't have a 10,000 hectare farm and run a coffee van, but maybe you could have a 1,500 hectare farm and a coffee van. But then I would still have to have staff doing the stuff that I wasn't doing here. Or I'd have to have staff in the coffee van taking selfies, giving birthday cookies, making Instagram posts. So, but you know, similar, you can be 18 and start a business and have the same mentorship recipe, but like you said, having a mentor to follow or direct contact costs money, because like we subscribe to the learning platform has a cost on the lessons we can learn. But it's also, you also have to take action in the learning too. So I consider it and tell people, make an Instagram profile about your business, and then put a couple of posts up, and then get people to tag your business, as you know, and it goes from there. That's not a complete recipe for success. There's 100 little nuances within that conversation that you need to learn. And then depending on where said business is, what said product is the difference it's going to make. But like you said, mentorship and investment in that mentorship is worth it. So I won't tell you the money that I put into this investment, because it's relative to, if you want to learn how to run a business worth $1 million, you can spend a couple $100. If you want to learn how to run a business of $100 million, you need to spend some money relative to the money you're going to earn. So, and that's again around the right network and the right people.
And probably to a certain degree, Stuart, to sum up today's thing, and it's a bit of a common theme in a lot of things that we talk about in this group, you only get out what you put in, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Like when we first started this, one of the biggest things you used to talk about for your own personal development physically was, for you to physically gain a difference, was to do your 10 push-ups a day, 10 squats, and then add on to it. Push yourself. Look at those guns. See that, guys? between the water and his push-ups, but so you got that, and then for you to gain wisdom, you've spent the money on the books. You've spent the money on the VIP seminar. You've got the book down the corner there that you're just showing us. Stuart's only gotten to where he's gotten to today from what he's put in mentally, physically, and financially. And he's willing to do that to upgrade himself to push through. And that's anything anybody could take away from it. So Richie Branson's no different. You know, he's put in the hard yards himself, and he's somebody I don't know a lot about him, but one of his biggest principles I like is the way he treats his staff, and that's a very generic term, but he treats them like people. So he's got respect from his people on a personal level, but he started that he flew the planes. So yeah, that's my input.
And that's you've summed it up quite well, Muzz. And it is like you see people go so far in life, and we can generalize it, that people that you might see in your life and got nothing to do with us, that have made a difference in their life. Maybe they've finished high school, got a better job, and not come home to the farm, and they're running a multi-million-dollar business in the city. Or maybe they moved interstate and are happy, got a family, and they've got a well-paid job, and they're winning at life. They got the sports car, and they got the happy wife and the kids are going to a good school. Everyone's happy and healthy. That's the level of success that they want to aspire to, and they're getting there. They're winning, but there's a cost that they've paid to get there. You know, applying for the jobs or learning more on different trades or whatever got them there. You've summed it up perfectly, Muzz. Thanks for the compliments, mate.
It's my pleasure. You've done the hard work, mate. So it's something you should be proud of yourself.
Cheers. Well, I reckon if we're going to sum it up, how about I'll put because you're a long-term veteran of this. There you go. You like that one? Veteran. Eh?
Oh, hey, getting the grey wikis to bloody show the veteran side of things.
Yeah. You're a veteran, so it must be your turn to do the sign-off, Muzz.
Oh, I can give it a whirl. So, righto, look, thanks everyone for being with us today anyway. Biggest thanks goes out to, we'll start off with the farmers and thank them for producing the food that goes in our plates and keeps us thinking well and clearly, and save the sheep. Hashtag save the sheep. Thanks to the truckies who transport our gear around this country and across the world. So you guys stay safe out there. A lot of accidents lately. Just hope that you guys are keeping safe and hydrated and well on the roads. And thanks to veterans who are keeping us safe and look out for that big scary ship off the coast there. And heart goes out to you guys. Take care. And click that follow button and hit the bell for subscribing to us. Good on you.
Nailed it.
I'll get there eventually, Stu.
Mate, it's
anyway,
practice.
Thanks, mate.
It's a bit like the other day when I did a YouTube live for the first time ever. Tried on a different costume, and I went, you know what? Yeah, we'll just wing it on YouTube to see how it goes, how it feels, and it's different. It's different.
Yeah.
But you know, and that's part of the growth. I can do it on YouTube and do it by myself, talking behind the camera, or I can do it having a conversation with you guys on the Sunday session. Or maybe the growth for me is to start doing that group speaking and see how far I can push myself and teach these lessons on a greater stage. And maybe there's value for me in going that far that will offset the value from somewhere else.
Absolutely. One thing that we should both do at some point, talk about growth, is going to Vin Garn. I don't know if I pronounced his last name correctly, but he's a gentleman who You've heard of him, haven't you? He talks about presentation, talking, public speaking, and learning, building confidence and stuff. If you don't, I can send a link to you later.
Yeah, send me a link.
Well worth that sort of thing.
Yeah,
and
because I follow quite a few huge public speakers, or not public speakers, but huge business people.
Yes.
All those free tips are available on my website. Plug, wink, wink. All that sort of YouTubey crap.
Yep.
Yep.
No, look, it's
yeah, that's the way forward. Because if you're, what's my golden line? If you're not changing, you're choosing. So you can't complain about where you are if you're not willing to do something about it.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Anyway, on that note, I'm choosing to depart. Oh, what's this? Come up with a bubble on my bloody with a thumbs up on this thing.
Actually, that was the young fellow was doing that on his school the other day. Get a thumbs up.
Oh, that's cool. Where's your thumbs up? You must have to hold up a bit.
I didn't do it.
Something, Stu. No, I didn't see it on my end.
Yeah. No. It must, because you've got less behind you on the camera.
Oh, it might be what it is. It's a bit clearer.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it goes.
There you go.
Righto, that's it. I've learnt something today.
So Muzz has liked the video. Maybe everyone else needs to like the video too. So
absolutely. Get on it, guys. All right. I'm out.
Peace out. Have a good
later.
one, people. That's us for today.